Jó reggelt kívánok, hogy vagy? Jó? It's very early morning here in, where am I? I think I'm in Studio City, but for all intent and purpose, I'm in LA. I'm in LA, the city of angels, the city that never sleeps. Is it, or is that New York? I think New York is the city that never sleeps. I think people sleep here, but they start getting up pretty early here because the highways are crazy. In fact, all of LA, it's crazy out there. It is just absolutely, it's downright frightening, to be quite honest with you. Somebody, somebody beeped at me this morning as I was getting on the 405 North. I didn't understand the process. It said something like, oh, I don't know what the hell the sign said or something, but it confused me. And, I'm an old man and I don't think as fast as I used to think. And, and somebody, somebody got a little bit angry with me. I think they call that, I think there's a word for that or a phrase for that. I think it's called road rage. Yeah, that's what it's called. It's called road rage. But anyway, here I am on my way to the airport, and thank the good Lord, thank the good Lord that I got here okay to L.A. and I had my rental car and no problems, and I got to spend some time with the wonderful Lee Lizaraga, and then I got to see an old friend mend a fence, so to speak, with an old friend, and got to see him, and now it's on Hawaii. And there's just one thing on my mind right now, believe it or not. I know you're not going to believe this, but the one thing on my mind, that I'm thinking about as soon as I get to Honolulu, I got to do laundry. I got to do laundry. I want to do laundry. I want to show up in Brisbane on Sunday or Sunday night. It's going to be Sunday night, but it's going to be Monday afternoon or something like that down under. I want to show up with clean underwear. I don't want to show up down under, with dirty down under, so to speak. But mm, I know you were waiting for that. That's good. Oh, that's good. It's not Starbucks or Dunkin' or anything. This is your local 24-hour gas station coffee. Would you believe? Would you believe that it was just I was driving down the road and I was thinking about this morning's show, The Blink of an Eye, and it was just yesterday. It seems like just yesterday. I got on Facebook. They pop up these memories that you can share with your friends. I've got lots of friends. I've never met 99.9% of them, but Facebook tells me they're my friends. So I've got lots of friends. But anyway, so the a memory popped up the other day, and it was a memory of my being in Portugal 1 year ago. And I thought about that, and that was I was in Portugal a year ago. I think I was there for a couple of weeks, and I don't know if I went to Porto on that trip and the Algarve. I think I did. I went down to the Algarve, and I'm going to have you, and boy, how time flies. It really does. Time flies, and I was thinking a lot about the conversation I had the other day about my friend John, and him being older in life and what have you, and you go over to his house and you see these pictures on the wall, photographs and memories, as the song from Jim Croce goes. You see these pictures on the wall, and you see this young man with long flowing blonde hair and a big bushy mustache, and a beautiful woman by his side, and standing there in their ski gear, and on top of a mountain in Switzerland, and and you see all these other pictures on the wall, and what have you. And even where I was staying these last couple days, I was staying with a wonderful couple, Ron and Amy. And Amy, both of them were just really, really sweet, nice people. Probably my age. I'd say they were probably right around my age. And as you go down the hallway to my room, there were these three pictures on the wall. Where there's this one picture of three beautiful girls, really, really beautiful girls. And you could tell the picture was dated. It was an older picture. And I looked at the three girls, and I guessed that one of the three was Amy, my hostess, and probably good 30 to 40 years earlier or something like that. And I sat there, I looked at that, and I started thinking as I was in the shower about how fast life goes. Life goes by in the blink of an eye. It really does. It goes by in the blink of an eye. And the people, if I can't say that I have regrets in life to any great significance. But the one thing that I wish I would have been more in tune with the rapidity of life when I was in my late teens, early 20s. When you're back there, when you're in your late teens, your early 20s or something like that, you're kind of going through life a little bit lackadaisical. You're just kind of, going through life, and you think, gee, I've got time. I've got time. Time is on my side. And then you blink and you're 30 something. And you blink again and you're 40, and you blink again and you find yourself, before you know it, you find yourself sitting in a parking lot a few miles outside of LAX talking to a camera, in a dimly lit parking lot at 5:30 in the morning. But time flies, so to speak. I wish that I
Head southeast toward West Century Boulevard.
I wish that I had known. I wish I had been more conscientious of that. I'm just throwing the 50-cent words out left and right. I wish I had been more conscientious of the fact of the rapidity of life when I was in my early 20s. Who knows where I would have been, now, if I had been a little bit more conscientious about that. But anyway, it is what it is. It's water. It's water under the bridge, so to speak. But what else is on my mind? There is the other thing that I was thinking about was, there's that phrase that something about, as you're going through life, don't focus on the destination, i.e., old age, as much as the journey. The greatest reward is in the journey. It's not in the destination, so to speak. Something along those lines. And I found myself thinking about that, and that's so easy to tell people. It's so easy to tell people, just enjoy the ride, enjoy the journey. Don't think about what's at the end. Just enjoy the journey as you go through it. But for a lot of people, the journey is nothing but a day-to-day struggle. It's nothing but an ongoing day-to-day, never-ending struggle, and it's hard to tell somebody, to enjoy the journey as they're struggling from day to day to make ends meet. But I was just sitting in there in McDonald's eating my $8.08 uh, bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit meal with a hash brown and a small little orange juice. $8. $8 for that. Just that little hash, that biscuit. What the hell does a biscuit cost them to make? 3 cents? 5 cents? Okay, 10 cents. Two egg, whatever. But I was just sitting in there and I was thinking, there was this African American guy that was pushing a broom in there, or a mop, and there's this Asian guy that walked in to order his breakfast. And as I sat there, I found myself thinking, people's lives wouldn't need to be a struggle if the collective whole, if the collective whole of humanity had its shit together and focused on just focused on this thing we called life, so to speak. It's well within the capacity of the collective whole of humanity to solve the majority of problems that challenge us on a day-to-day basis. And it's just a bummer. It's just a bummer that is that is as a group, collective whole, species, whatever the hell you want to call it. It's just a shame that we can't put our collective efforts together, for the benefit of all. There's always been fighting and differences and separations and what have you, and there always will be. But it's just a shame. If I were God, God, the greatest thing that God gave us is our freedom. That's the greatest thing that God gave us. And a lot of people say, well, if there's a God in heaven, why does he allow all this crap? There can't be a God in heaven because he wouldn't allow all this crap. And the fact of the matter is that God doesn't allow all this crap. We allow this crap. It's humanity. God gave us our freedom. God gave us the greatest thing that the Lord gave us is our freedom to do with our lives what we want to do with our lives. And that's why the United States has become the greatest country to ever grace the face of this earth insofar as its overall contribution to the betterment of humanity. I have to qualify that. I can't just say that's why the United States is the greatest planet or country to ever grace the face of the earth. I can't just say that without saying qualifying it with the insofar as the betterment of the whatever. Anyway,
In a quarter mile, slight left toward West Century Boulevard.
that's my little thing telling me I've got to get going. But anyway, I got to get going to return my car. But the Lord doesn't allow the suffering. The Lord doesn't allow that. We allow that. The Lord gave us our freedom, and if we so chose to do so, we could solve a lot of the problems that face this world. But anyway, so now it's on with the show. I woke up to a message from Michelle today asking me if I could describe the perfect Valentine's date. What would it be? What would be the perfect Valentine's date? And I had to think about that for a moment. And I had to think that probably the perfect Valentine's date for me would be waking up and just taking a nice long drive somewhere along the coast. Just a nice long drive somewhere along the coast, listening to some Van Morrison, some music, having a nice picnic, spending a day at the ocean.
Head north on Glasgow Place, then turn right.
Watching the sunset and going to home, and as my dad used to say, as he'd be going up to bed, looking down at Mercedes and I in the sunken living room, all right, I'm going up, Tommy, you know what to do. That's what my dad used to say. He used to look at me and Mercedes, and he'd say, Tommy, you know what to do. And he'd wink at Mercedes as he'd go up the steps. But anyway, that's those are my thoughts for the day. Quick thing on the what was I going to say? That the other day when I said that I had offered to John that if he needs me to call me, and some people thought that I'm such a nice guy and what have you, and I was thinking about that, and the fact of the matter is, John owns two homes. He owns a home right on the ocean. I mean, literally, his front step is in the sand, and so he owns a nice home on the ocean, and he also owns a beautiful Italian villa up in the wine country of Central California. So to say that I would go and take care of him, I mean, you got to put it in the context as to where he's living. If you know, if he was living in the ghetto, so to speak, would I, put my life on hold and go take care of him? I can't say that I would. I can't. I honestly can't say that I would. So, for those of you out there that were quick to bestow your praise upon me, then put it in context. Put it in context. Anyway, I need to get on with my day. I've got a lovely lady named Michelle waiting for me down under in Australia. You're gonna love her. For those of you that haven't seen videos of her, or when I met her some years back in Italy, she's a delightful lady. She really, really is a delightful lady, and she's got a super dog called Sam, as in Samantha, and I'm looking forward to seeing the both of them. So, anyway, have a great day, everyone. All right, take good care.